Good morning, Houston, Texas. It's Tuesday, October 17th of 2023 at 6:01 a.m. And the gang's here. Rula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam. And yesterday, it was a pretty interesting day if you were watching the game.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's all right.
Yesterday, Eric, I went through, before I went to sleep, and I was recapping the game to my husband because it was day game. He was at work. I went through the text between me, you, and our coworker because I was saying, he goes, "What did Eric go to the game?" And I said, "No," but we were texting through the whole game. And if you reread the text between me, you, and Yoj, it's comedy because there are so many F-bombs being dropped.
You think we lost like by 10.
1 point.
Just one
I
run.
know. One run. We had a chance to win that sucker like 8-4.
That's why I don't.
7-4.
Like, I'd usually be mad, but I'm like, yeah.
It was a good game.
It was a good game. We lost it. I mean, we can honestly say the Rangers did not win that. We freaking lost that.
Yeah.
Well, the
bases
W was
loaded,
in their
no outs, and you
column,
can't score a run. You don't deserve to win. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Onward, upward.
Mm-hmm.
They're
One of my
going
friends
to Minute Maid Park North, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
pretty
wonder
much.
how many Astros fans we'll see in the screen because I didn't. Yesterday they showed up. I feel like more Ranger fans in
was
the
still-
screen than the day before.
I was shocked though that I didn't see that because I thought, oh man, they're going to show up. I mean, like the Steelers. Like my Uber driver was talking about, she did the Steelers Texans game the other week or two. She's like, I thought it was a Steelers game.
We travel
So
really
think
well.
about that. They don't travel less than 3 hours. Their first time in like 10 years to be there, and they did maybe 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's
Even when they
crazy.
scored runs, it was like, like a little bit. But when like I was there against the Braves, oh my god. This
Yeah.
whole section I was by was like 500 of them with the flashlights doing doesn't matter anyway. Philly's gonna destroy everybody. The Philly's on
I
fire.
know my
They're
friend who
feeling it,
lives in
right?
Philly, Eric.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she texted
Like, what
me
do we
because I
want to be
texted
there?
her.
Yeah.
I told her, well, I hope you enjoy this because we are basically giving away our ALCS to the Rangers just so you can destroy them in the World Series. And she said, "Oh my God, Rula, I was so dreading playing the Astros in the World Series again. My stomach was turning, but I watched the game and I don't recognize that team. What's happening?"
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
hey man, they could still turn it around. When we were down 3-0 against the Rays, we pushed them to game 7 in 2020.
Yeah.
Of course, we ended up losing, but that's fine. That was fine. And that was the Dodgers World Series year with that half season. Or was it even a half season? I felt like it was
60
like 40
games.
games.
Oh, yeah, the
60.
pandemic season.
Ooh.
The asterisk. Meanwhile, the Rockets beat the Spurs. Houston
Will
is
they come back and win?
They're unbeaten in the preseason.
Nice.
This is a great way to
So the
start.
future's good. Texans,
Yeah.
they won.
Texans beat the Saints.
CJ Stroud
by the
was at
way-
game yesterday.
by
I was
the
like,
way,
put CJ in.
There were a lot of Saints fans at that game.
Well, that
man.
too. They travel well.
lot.
As I'm telling you, there's you get
There's
teams
a
like
couple teams that travel really
Saints. I mean, there's a lot of Saint fans here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad for them.
All right, let's shake it off.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it
No,
go.
What time is the game tomorrow? I didn't even check
I'm
the
sure they're all playing.
schedule.
I
What,
don't know.
what time they play
Probably night
tomorrow.
game because I'm sure they play tonight, Philly, and then they'll travel tomorrow. So we'll be the only game
Oh, right.
tomorrow.
So they'll give us a primetime slot.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Correct. Well, hey, man, 0-2 is nothing new to a Houston team. That's why it's called Clutch City from back in the day.
7:03 tomorrow.
7. It's so funny those times. That's how like
7
my wife
o'clock.
asked me, "What time are you going to be here?" I was like, 7:07. She's like, she was just mad at me. She's like, "You can't say 7:10, 7:05." It's
You
always.
got the national anthem. You got all the
But in
little...
my head, I think, "Oh, I'm going to be there at this certain time," and I go for it.
I wouldn't say that.
You don't
No, not at all. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to be there like,
7:15, or you wouldn't say
Either
7:12.
no, I would either say 7 or 7:15.
Yes.
Question: if you guys
Depends
are in the
on
line
traffic.
buying beer and they start the national anthem, do you take your hat off and put your hand over your heart while you're in the beer
You're
line?
supposed to.
Well, I was stuck in that this little store they have in there. You put your credit card in, and
Yeah.
you just walk in, take what you want, and walk out. And
The
it
Amazon store.
and it can
Yeah.
tell you what you bought. So I'm in the middle of it, holding my peanuts and and a water.
Say, can you
And
see?
then the lady's like, "Oh, you can buy sneak out. It's okay. Go ahead." So I'm like, "I don't know what the rule is here."
Right.
Then I went out and took my
Do
hat
women
off.
are women supposed to take their hats off?
Just men.
That's what I thought. So I don't take my hat
Well,
off.
I think
then.
everyone should.
I think it's just the rule.
I
Is
thought
just
it was
men
just
now.
men. Yeah.
Women don't have to.
What?
Yeah, you don't want to see
Double
our hat
standard,
here.
Eric.
The whole reason
is a
we're
double
wearing
standard.
a hat is because,
Women are allowed
It's
to
a
be.
mess up.
Women are allowed to be
Real messy.
disrespectful.
Yeah, so leave.
we're not disrespectful. It's just
we are
I think it's just a rule.
It's just a rule. Women can keep their hat
Did you
on.
do it years ago?
I don't know. I've never taken my hat off.
Listen,
Really?
I don't disagree with you, Sam. I don't recall doing that. I think I've taken my hat off, but I don't recall seeing a bunch of women around me in the section take all their hats off. I know
No,
guys do
I-
it, but I don't think I've seen girls do it.
I actually don't see
Years
women
ago,
wear
there
hats
was a
as much.
Say
I
again?
like
Like
hats.
men wear hats more than women.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
at the ball game, I see
It always-
90% men, and then
Think about all the guys that are like on a date and they have to take out, damn it, I'm bald. And they have to take their hat off.
Cap
so you get that hat, the
called
weird,
catfishing.
your
You
hair
get
looks
hat
all
hair.
goofy.
Oh, yeah, you get hat hair. Just like we get headphone hair. When we leave the studio every
That
day,
sucks.
it's like I've got this band right across,
We need to
this
spend
horizontal band going across the top of my head. It looks
No,
silly.
when you come back, we need to all get those, like Dr. Ellie or something, get the
Oh, the
fitted,
molded, ear
ones in our ears.
headphones.
Earbuds.
Especially since we're going to have cameras in here and stuff and a lot more video. It look-
I
You
think
think it'll
I
look better?
like putting the headphones on my head because that's like the invisible shield of no cussing.
but it looks better.
It's
like
like
on
put the
TV.
headphones
like,
on,
and
look
stuff.
at
I'm with
how
Rula, though.
Ooh,
It's like
no
this
cussing.
profanity filter. Like when the headphones are on, we don't swear. When the headphones are off, man,
Yeah.
there's some bad
By
language
definition.
flying.
Old school. You got to change
By
it
the
with
way,
the
there
ways,
was a
guys.
story years ago that, speaking of taking your hat off, this before maybe before you joined our family here in Houston, Sam. Maybe you were still living in Pennsylvania, but you know how the Houston rodeo happens every year for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And every day there's a different performer. And this particular year, God, maybe it was like 2010 or 11, somewhere like that. There is a national story about the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo where there was a fight because when Lee Greenwood's, and I'm proud to be an American, that song, Lee Greenwood.
Yes.
It's not a national anthem.
It's not a national anthem, but these guys got in a fight because when that song was on at the start of the rodeo, the person in front of them did not have his hat off and was talking. And the people behind them was like, show some respect. And they got in a fight. And then so the title was in the national story. It's like, are you supposed to just stand still for any American song? Are they all anthems now?
Yeah.
That means like at
Oh
4th
my
of July, you can't do
gosh.
anything. You just got to watch it. You know, they put the music
Just
like
don't
that.
even wear a hat that day.
I'm coming to America.
Well,
Was it-
hey, that's Neil Diamond,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Take
do-
your hat off.
Yeah, take your head off. What did USA? Bruce Springsteen.
Wild.
And actually, here's an interesting thing too about two Texas teams playing. I've never been to I mean, I have been to a Rangers game in my past, but I don't remember this.
Yeah,
one.
you
I've
were
only
you
been to two.
you and your husband had the Kool-Aid there for a while. Remember? I'm like,
Yes,
I had
because
to bite my
he
tongue on
got
that
me into-
one.
What were they
Rule
all
was
about?
like all into the Rangers.
Oh, God.
I was into the Rangers
was
because
like,
when
ugh.
I got married in 2009, they went to the Super Bowl.
That would be
the World
really
Series in
interesting. Wow, we've got a
2011.
baseball team in the Super Bowl.
They got bats.
Yeah, messed up. In 2011, they went to the World Series, and my wedding was in October. It's October 24th of 2009. We were not baseball heads then. Otherwise, think about that. That's right in the middle of playoffs. 2010, for our 1-year anniversary, my husband goes, do you think it's weird if we go to a baseball game on our anniversary? I go, no, it's fine. Let's go. So we went to a Rangers game in Dallas. And then that 2011, they went to the World Series. We went to the game where they won to go to the ALCS, and we went to one of the World Series games.
See, so don't give me
And-
crap about my White Sox. At least my White Sox are not in Texas.
No, I just went to support my husband, and I didn't have an
No,
really
you did not
allegiance to
support.
the Astros. I didn't know one player on the team in 2011. I can't tell you any of the Astros players in 2011. That was a time where every single one of us in this room, you can't either. You don't know who was playing on that team. We weren't doing well. And so I was like,
it
okay,
sucks.
sure, baseball's baseball, let's go. And that's when I was up that night, and I was watching them lose the World Series by 1 strike. And when I came on the air the next day, I was like, oh my God, the Rangers lost the World Series last night by 1 strike.
That's the
They were 1
best.
strike away. Eric's like, oh, who cares? Nobody cares.
Yep, that's how it was. I was like, I was so happy for that moment. I still, when they talked about it yesterday during the game, I'm like, oh, I love it. The
Yeah, I
Cardinals
didn't have any,
one out
any,
away
like,
from the World
negativity
Series
towards them.
and they choked.
It was crazy. That's a choke, like of all chokes. Yesterday, Eric, when Tara and Ryan from The Wolf were on,
Oh, yeah,
I
Tara.
mentioned that to them because I was like, oh my God, 1 strike away. She goes, oh, don't remind us. Like, can you imagine if that was your team? Holy crap.
gotta
You're
live with
just
it.
1 strike away in your own house, in your own house. The cannons are ready to fire. The champagne is ready to go. They have taped up the locker room, and you fumble it, and you have to go back to the other team's house and lose the World Series.
It's like Yoj, the man that we were texting with, we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I remember he was at the game when Stockton hit the 3 to beat the Rockets.
Oh, my God. That was
And I
the
remember he
single
was-
worst moment in
they say
sports history
He
for
said
me.
the whole crowd, because it was here in Houston, he just
Yeah.
went dead quiet. All you hear one guy going, well, Michael Jordan's going to kick your butt anyway. That was the big rebuttal.
Oh, my
Somebody
God.
said it's like a loser.
Yeah, Sam, in the 90s, there was a huge rivalry with the Utah Jazz.
Oh, God. And then we
And they
hated
were
them
in our
so
way.
much.
We were always in their way to get to the NBA Finals. that year they got in our way, and we could not believe with 1 second left, they sunk a 3-point shot and ended it
It's
for
brutal.
us.
That was the
Dang.
first time, and my mom was staying with me. It was the first time my mom ever heard the F word come out of my mouth. Like, I mean, and I couldn't hold it back. I mean, I was just like, it was the loudest F bomb I'd ever dropped in my life. And she's just looking at me like, oh my, is everything okay? I'm like, no, it's not okay.
It's so dumb. It's just like
It's just a word.
I mean, just why we get so mad about these things.
Yes.
That's why I'm just trying to.
That was the
Get sad.
biggest, that's the biggest kick in the nuts I've ever felt in sports ever.
Oh yeah, because you love.
Well, one of my friends said she almost wants her team to not be in it anymore because she can't take the stress. The
Yes.
mental stress of baseball playoffs is insane. The deeper you get,
Yeah.
the deeper you get, the more stress it is. Anyway,
It is
my
what
husband
it is.
just woke up. And he heard Eric's comments on.
Hey, the Cowboys won last night though.
Yeah, the Cowboys won
Did
last
they?
night. yes.
I didn't even watch
They
that.
came back and won 2017.
I had to watch Love is Blind, Houston edition.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. I was reading a little bit about
They
it.
gave us a little book report,
Yeah.
I'm not totally.
even though it's not a book.
Yeah. I also didn't read
reality
books
show
either,
report.
so it's the same thing.
I figured you'd be watching that House
Well,
of
speaking of
Usher or
reality
whatever.
shows,
I'm like,
Sam.
I don't see Usher in this thing at all.
Oh,
I know.
At first, I thought it was a documentary about Usher.
No,
I did not.
Lead up to the Super Bowl? Is this what it is? Nope.
There's another kind of reality show coming to a streaming network near you. And is Tom Cruise going to participate? Well, I'm going to give you all those details. Here's your weather for today.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it feels great outside right now. It's nice and brisk, but it's only going to get to 75. This is going to be like the most perfect day. Sunshine and 75.
Yeah. This is
That
like San
is
Diego.
like, that's like a
I
California
had
day.
to open my door so I could feel it. I was like, let me see how it feels. God, it feels great outside.
But you don't really need. Sam's like, I thought I was going to wear my
He's wearing her
Uggs.
Santa Fe,
Hell
Santa
yeah,
Fe
you're gonna wear your
collection
Uggs,
right
girl.
now.
Put those on.
It's totally Ugg weather, but
It's like 50
I
degrees
have things
outside.
to do after work, and I didn't feel like
It's
sweating.
girl Ugg weather, man.
Yeah,
it's 100%.
thank you. Especially
put
in
those
Houston,
Uggs on.
Texas is the only time I can wear them. Ryan.
Yeah, she wants sweaty ankles.
Isn't
today.
it crazy that
Put my
like 2
feet in
weeks
your
ago it was
face.
109 degrees and now it's like 50 degrees?
It's awesome.
The wonders
is-
of weather.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming back with Scoop next on the Rule and Ryan Show. It is brought to you by Innovative Lasers of Houston. And those of you that kind of forgot, last year, Top Gun Maverick came out in the theaters and drove her right back to the theaters.
That was 2
I didn't
years
think I'd
ago
ever go
now.
back to the theater. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been 2 years since that movie's been
Well, it
out.
wasn't
Oh,
this
yeah, I
summer. It was the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I guess I kept thinking of how much we watched on Amazon Prime when it came out streaming.
Well, it took a long time. Like most movies, they'll release in the theater, and then like 3 weeks later, they're streaming. With that one, you had to wait like 8 months.
he held out for a
He held
long
out a long
time.
time.
Smart.
He was like, "No thanks." It brought a lot of interest back to the fighter jets and people who are pilots. You know, I think I've met 2 fighter pilots in my life, and just when you find out that's the job, you're just
Oh,
like,
Rula, I
totally-
met one this summer when I was on vacation. I was hanging out with him for like a couple of days, and he said, because I said, "Oh, I bet you it drives you nuts when you watch," because he did this for like 10 years. He was a fighter pilot, and I said, "I bet just drives you nuts when you watch TV and movies. What about Top Gun?" He goes, "Surprisingly, he got it really accurate." He said it was really, really accurate.
Well, that's one thing about Tom Cruise. He is pretty crazy about the details. And now, National Geographic's channel is going to do a reality show called Top Gun: The Next Generation. A premiere date has not been announced yet, but it's going to follow Navy student pilots every step of the way during their training as they embark on some of the most challenging flight tests possible, including landing on an aircraft carrier at sea and more. It's going to be the first time this level of access has been given to the pilot training
Smart because
process.
they need
Is that like a
more recruits. They
military?
want. It's a
Yeah.
great. It's a free infomercial.
oh yeah,
Right,
for
but
sure.
isn't it like giving away military secrets of how they train them? I don't know.
Now
It's
I
like
doubt they're going to do
lines.
something like that. They probably have to have everything pre-approved.
And
You're
even,
like, no.
they don't have the equipment we have, and I'm sure there's certain things
Yeah.
they won't show.
Top Gun: The Next
I
Generation.
mean, isn't
TV
Top Gun
series.
just propaganda for military recruitment anyway?
And most of it is
Man,
done with
if
drones.
somebody
now.
gets inspired by that Special K, I am fine with that because it's not going to be me,
Yeah.
be me in there, and somebody's got to do it.
Like movies, you watch a movie and it gets you
Yeah.
inspires
Why
you
not?
to be a scientist or
Inspires you to be
be
Kevin, are
somebody,
you
right?
worried because everything that you encounter, you fall for and you want to do it?
I don't get swept away.
He just signed up.
Kevin,
I know.
Kevin's got his flight jacket
He's got
on
the
now.
perfect height because you want to be under like what 5'7".
to fit in those little cockpits.
It's true.
Although for some reason,
You're like 6'2", you probably can't do it, right?
see, we're
I
talking
don't know.
about this stuff, and it's going to show up in my feed. Like I've been getting all the
What, to join the Navy?
no the Top Gun stuff. Like for
In
some
the
reason, I've been getting all these videos of how they made the movie showing up on my Instagram, and it shows him in a green screen, and there's a guy wearing
Yeah.
a green morph suit holding the
Someone's
fighter plane.
spending money on that because I'm getting a ton of that, like of Marvel movies. They show the split screen. They show what it looks like in the green screen. With,
Yeah.
with the guy with the morph suits on.
with the
and then
morph suit and the dots all
It
over
really
him.
ruins the whole.
It ruins it for you.
I feel like those actors have to feel like they're,
I was like, wow, I'm
This is
talking.
lame,
I'm
like-
having a dramatic scene with a guy with polka dots all over
Well,
his
like
face.
Zoe Saldana from Avatar and all those Avatar characters, I had to just, most of their acting was just in those polka dot
I feel like it's hard to
Suits.
get into
gamer
a
suits.
Right?
character.
Yeah, I would think so. If you're not using practical effects and it's all CGI,
Yeah.
That'd be really hard.
So here's something. Let me switch topics here for a second because here's something interesting. I've been talking about Advanced Body Scan for a while now. They're in Bel Air, and it's a place where you can go. You get this 5-minute body scan. If you feel like something's up with your body, like you don't know what it is, but you don't have any symptoms yet. And the scan that I did was from my chin to my hips. Well, this body scan comes into the entertainment news today because Tommy Lee is celebrating a year of sobriety for I think maybe his 3rd or 4th rodeo.
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. What did I say?
That's right. You're talking about Tommy Lee, like Motley Crue drummer, not Tommy
Yes,
Lee
Motley
Jones.
Crue's
the actor.
Tommy Lee.
Okay.
He did a podcast with Bill Maher. He was on his podcast and he was talking about how the allure, like the lure of alcohol and how it makes you feel so good that he ended up out of boredom because, he's rich, doesn't like have a regular job, right? He would just drink just because he was bored. Like he would wake up, he'd get vodka and put like a dropper of OJ or like a dropper of cranberry juice and call it a vodka cranberry. And he would just drink. He did a body scan. And here's this part of the conversation I want you guys to hear about how much vodka he was drinking and what he saw in his body. Here's the clip.
It's easy to fall in love with the way it makes you feel, the way it makes you relax. And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm drinking 2 gallons of vodka a day. This is not like you're trying to kill yourself now. This is not like.
Are you talking about yourself? Come on.
2 gallons a day. I swear to you, dude, I swear to God.
Gallons?
Gallons, the big handle.
I know what a gallon is.
Dude.
Because I know it's 4 quarts.
Yes.
And a quart is like a bottle of liquor, is a normal bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So you drank 8 bottles of liquor?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh,
a day.
man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, ask my wife.
For how long?
Man, for a long time.
I mean, your liver must be made of asbestos.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't believe I pinch myself on a daily basis. Like, I just did like the full body scan where they do head to toe everything, and I can't believe smoking, drinking. Dude, the doctor was like, "You're good."
I believe
Wow.
it. You know what?
Crazy.
I don't have a
How's it
ton of
look
celebrity
out?
stories, but I got to
You've
hang
been a
out.
firefighter or a fighter pilot?
Yeah,
Fighter
turn that
pilot?
story into
Everyone's
about you.
Oh, that's true.
So
Sorry
why
about
not?
that.
You
But
probably
I
met
mean,
them.
Eric, I think, were you there when Tommy Lee came in? He spent a whole morning with us when I was working in Dallas. And then when I worked in Los Angeles, I went to a local bar and ran into him. And he is like such a different person when he drinks. He's like Jekyll and Hyde completely.
Well, I'm going to say that is an example, the clip you just heard of Tommy Lee drinking 2 gallons of vodka a day, not having any liver issues.
eight
It's
bottles
one of
a
those
day.
crazy stories where you see like the grandma that lives to be 104 and she just smokes and all
Doesn't
day
eat
and drinks
vegetables.
and like eats bacon.
Yeah.
Right? He's never had a vegetable in her life.
Like how
She's
Michael's-
that one-off person.
No vegetables.
That's unbelievable. That the scan did not find severe liver damage on Tommy Lee.
How does he
after
not?
drinking that much?
8 bottles
Well,
a day? My
some
God,
people-
that's insane.
I think he's exaggerating, but 8 bottles, come on.
That is alcohol poisoning
Yeah.
every day. How are you not dead?
I think you would die.
Can you build a tolerance to 8 bottles of vodka a day?
I'm sure you can build a tolerance to anything.
But 8 bottles?
I mean,
Maybe if it's like
You
20
think by
proof,
4, you probably won't remember what you're even doing. Yeah, if it's not the...
it couldn't be strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the alcohol, like I was watching the morning show on Apple Plus TV and everyone's like, I just need a drink. Let's have a drink. We're going to get drunk tonight. We're going to get so drunk tonight we can't see straight. And then like they're drowning their sorrows in this bad situation in the morning show because their ratings are terrible and their network's going to crap. And I'm thinking, man, if you were struggling with alcohol, it would be really hard to watch this show. If you were really struggling with alcohol right now, you cannot watch the morning show. There's too much booze in there. That's all their goal is, just to get totally out of their minds drunk because they're so miserable in their jobs. I'm like, ooh, if you know anybody battling with alcohol addiction, do not watch the morning show on Apple Plus TV. It's gonna make them want to have a Moscow Mule
Or Mad
Look at
Men.
you, Special K. Huh?
Yeah, Mad Men. That's all they did. They sit around, drank, and smoke all day.
It didn't work. I'm like, when do you guys have time to do anything? Go to lunch? Well, they come in like at 10, then they go to do a little work, then they
they're
go to
drinking.
lunch.
Yeah, they're drinking.
Drink
Yeah.
at lunch, and they come back, work for an hour, then they start having drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Work a little bit. And
Had the
more
drink
drinks.
cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bring it around.
Well, it's like that show Telemarketers on Max, where all they did was like drugs and drink all day, so they can make these phone calls about fake charities for you to raise money. Telemarketers on Max. It's called Max now, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
it
it's
called
called
Max now?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I
not
keep wanting to
HBO
call it
Max, it's
HBO
just
Max,
Max.
but we can't.
And it's confusing too because I got to figure out how to delete the old HBO Max off my screen.
Yeah,
'Cause
I get
sometimes I
double.
forget and I hit that and it's like malfunction because it's a dead app. And it's like you got to go to the Max app.
In Roundtable, I want to talk about, because on Friday I did a whole thing on Instagram, a little story there. I went to get my car washed. And
Oh my gosh, yes.
I had a
Please talk
bunch of-
about this.
I just want to know if anyone else has had anything stolen from their vehicle, be it a car wash or a valet.
Oh.
The listener said we should ask people. I'm just curious if there's anybody out there. I can tell what happened to me.
37530, or if you want to chime in.
Yeah,
We're going to focus on this one subject.
Because,
you
I
know
mean,
why?
you've
we
lit
originally
the
wanted to,
phones.
Sam. You didn't do anything wrong. Sam's looking at me like, what?
I'm like,
No. The round table, I can feel from what Eric said he would start it off with, guys. In the time that the commercials happened, this has grown into a monstrous topic. So we're going to just focus on this because we did not expect to get this kind of response just from the tease of what did Eric get stolen out of his truck when he valeted.
Yeah, what disappeared?
Actually, it was a car wash right near my house.
Oh, car wash. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes,
And
go
I-
ahead.
and
Tell the
washed-
story.
I washed my truck, and I washed my wife's car, so I went back and got it and did all the stuff.
Wait, was
There-
this
but
hand
there-
wash or you drive it through?
Hand wash.
Okay.
So
But
it's
don't
like,
they-
$61.
Don't they detail the inside for you?
Yeah, they do detailing and all the stuff. So
Actually, a pretty good price.
yeah, so I think
Yeah.
they do a great job. So I went on my Instagram live, saying, should I confront what happened? And I'll tell you what happened. I have the little change thing in my Dodge Ram where you can put quarters and dimes.
Yeah.
And I just started using it like a few months ago. I'm like, I'll just start putting quarters there. And all of a sudden,
And say how it looks, though, Eric. It's not just like a little bin where you throw them loose.
it's it's
They're
made of
categorized.
plastic. Yeah, the categorized quarters. Then
Stackable. Oh, it's
Stackable.
almost like you have one of those things
Like,
on
yeah.
your hip where you're
There's
making
like five
change.
of them across.
Yeah.
And then there's like a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
part in the middle.
Not
you
just
can
a
put,
bin of change.
And then you can put
That's
your
what I was picturing.
no. There's all the quarters. There's
Yeah.
all the dimes. So
You
I
have
can
to
see.
go out of your way to take the.
But you can see them
change
there,
out.
and I even had like a little. My daughter had like a little button there, like for like
Little pin.
student,
Okay.
student.
So you've got a
government thing.
couple of bucks in
So
there.
that was
then.
in there, and all of a sudden I was like, when I got my truck, and I went to take my wife's, I'm like, wait, I could have swore I had change here. That's weird.
Uh-huh.
And then I went over there, and then I confronted them, and the manager, they were so good. They're like, what? They were so angry. They went to the cameras. They were looking.
Yeah.
And then one guy goes, how much you think was there? I go, I think like $3. So he pulled $3 out. I was like, whatever, this is not right. We're going to find out. We're going to fire these people right away if this happened.
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be part of that.
No.
I don't want to be
Last
around.
time you
$3,
bring your car
but
there.
I felt like they should know that
You got a thief that
$3.
works
They're
there.
taking $3 from every car. Think about that.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well, yeah, because Eric, when you did your Instagram live, you were saying maybe I should just let this go, but people on the comments were like, no, because everybody lets it go, and that's why they keep doing it.
I
You've
wasn't-
got to tell them so they mark it.
I wasn't in Carrick mode. I was just like wanted to talk to them.
Tell them like no.
And so they went to the camera. He goes, I'll get back to you. And
Did they find out who
the
was
manager guy
swiping?
said, here's what they probably do. They probably sucked it up, but they say that by accident, air quotes. But the reason I know is they did it on purpose is because they didn't suck up the little button. That little button would have been sucked up way easier
First.
than a quarter that's stuck in that little.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So what they
because
do-
you have the categorized columns for all your
Yeah.
coins, there's no way it got sucked out
And
of that.
The
but your daughter's little
the
pin
vacuum
did
only
not
sucks
get
up
sucked.
coins,
Yeah.
not buttons.
So
okay.
they all of a sudden they showed me a video later on because I go, I gotta go, and he goes, hey, I want to give you guys free car washes to make it better, and by the way, here it is. And they showed all the quarters were in the vacuum. So basically, what they do is they just suck them all up. That way, they had deniability.
And then they can go pull
Cameras,
them.
and then they pull them at the end of the shift, and all of a sudden they got like $50.
Cha-ching!
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Well, people were texting us at 37530 about one specific place that has a valet situation where between the calls and the texts, we're getting the same common denominator place where the valets are stealing out of cars. Now, I believe we have Chrissy standing by.
Yeah,
She's still there?
she's at a famous. It was a hospital that a lot of people go to here. It's one of the big ones.
Okay.
And it was a valet, I believe.
Okay, Chrissy, welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show. Turn your radio down so you make sure you're not confused by delay. Tell us your story. Good morning.
Yes, I go often to this particular hospital, and I have all my change in my cup holder, and it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there sometimes was $1 or $2. You can't ever tell. Well, I kept noticing it was depleting, and so I decided to put up a ring cam. One of the portable ones, and I put a blanket or I think it was a towel on top of it, and I caught him red-handed.
Oh wow!
Tell me how you positioned the ring cam in your car, like without it toppling over or being able to get the angle.
I turned the chime off, and I tilted it just right. And if they're only in my driver's seat, then they're not going to mess with that.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So what
when
did you see?
You film it.
I ran downstairs and confronted them and showed it to them on the camera because I was recording, and I had turned the chime off so they couldn't even hear me. But I started to say, "Hey, leave my money alone," but I didn't. So I went downstairs and got them fired.
Oh, you got him
you
fired.
got him fired.
They have to fire him. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can't have a
Because
thief.
in the ring camera, it just was the person digging through your console or just swiped whatever was available.
Taking the quarters and the little dollar quarters or the dollar coins, and I mean, just kind of picking through.
Yeah, they're always. It's human nature. You think about whatever you have there, they're going to look through.
Because think about it, every little bit. If you do like 50 cars a day and you got $1 out of every car, that's $50.
Yes.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, it adds up.
And they see a lot of cars at that
Or
hospital.
sunglasses. I think Tassos had his sunglasses stolen.
Yes,
from his
Tassos had
valet.
his Ray-Ban stolen out of the console in the middle of the truck. I'm sorry, the Tahoe.
But now
we were so mad because he was like, my freaking Ray-Bans just got stolen. He had just gotten them.
We all
like
need to
maybe
get
a
those
week before.
things in the mirror that can record outward and inward in your car.
No kidding.
I'm surprised more cars are made with those. Like everyone has the rear view camera now.
Yeah.
You back up and reverse. They need to get that on all the cars.
When
Christy,
we
thanks
go
for
to
your
work,
story. Matt's up next. He's got. Say it again, Kev.
when we go to work is when I see the wildest things on the road.
Yes.
Whether it be just someone who's angry because I passed them, just because I passed them on this one section of road. I will never pass anyone again on Fondren between 59 and West Park Tollway because they get angry. That is like alpha male angry road.
Think you're better than
Oh,
me?
you're going to pass me? Well, I'm going to pass you and cut you off and then like look at you at the red light and threaten you.
Oh, there are a lot of accidents in that
people?
area.
Good God.
A lot.
Just trying to get to
And
work.
you're in a truck. You're not even like in a small, like non-menacing vehicle. You're also higher up in a truck. So other people are just mad you're passing them in a truck. That's
Yes,
ridiculous.
yes. And it has happened numerous times. So I'm very, very vigilant about that. And then the other part is, you know how it's weird how West Park doesn't have an on-ramp there?
Yeah.
You have to go on the wrong side of the road. Everyone drives in the dirt. Every week I see someone drive up in the dirt, and I want to get that on camera and just
By the
make a
way,
montage of it.
If you're in the news, local news, you definitely should be doing November sweeps. Like put the cameras in there and do car
Yeah.
washes
Oh,
and do
yeah.
the valets.
Yeah.
I've seen the valet one before,
yeah.
like on like 2020 type thing. But local, do that. I'd love to see car washes, set up stuff, set little stings up.
Like, I'd prefer to just pay the valet price and then just let me park the car myself.
Yeah, just let me park close.
Because I'm paying for the space. I'm not paying for somebody. I want somebody
Talk to Matt
driving
real
my car.
quick because I think it was his wife.
Hi, Matt. Welcome to the Rule and Ryan Show. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Hi.
Hey, fantastic.
Did you have something stolen out of your vehicle at valet or car wash, or was it somebody in your
So it
family?
was actually the mechanic shop. So when me and my wife first got together, she was like moving her stuff in. Well, the motor blew up in her car, so we had the mechanic come pick it up with his truck and everything. Well, there was still a lockbox that was in the back of it. It was actually an old gun case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we go back the next day because I had to take some parts because it was a buddy of mine that was supposed to be working on it at his shop. Well, one of the other mechanics took the car and pushed it in and everything, and he says he was going to work late. Long story short, the stuff that was in the safe thing that was in her car was adult toys for
Oh my gosh.
happy time.
That's an interesting thing to have in your car.
You keep them in the car? Hey, you never knew
Seriously?
going to need this.
She was in the process of moving.
Got it. Got
Said,
it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, so we go, and it was kind of funny because we actually ended up getting it back.
Oh, no.
because-
I don't think I'd want that back.
Oh, no, we threw them away. trust me.
Okay.
But you still want to get them.
Yeah, so long story short, when we went in, he looked into it, saw the guy, he took the lockbox, everything back, and you've seen him put it in his truck. So he confronted him, he fired him and everything. But for about a week, it was actually sitting next to his toolbox in the shop.
Oh, God.
No way.
So I don't
Reaching
think he
for a
was
wrench, you
figured-
get something else.
Yeah.
He was trying to
He's
use it
not
for
going to help
hammer or
me if I
something,
do
I guess.
this.
It's like a
Transmission?
dipstick. What the heck? This doesn't fit in there. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
there was like 5 of them that was supposed to be in there, and then we come back and there's only a glass one that was in there, and yeah,
That
Man,
sounds
you guys
dangerous.
are bougie. You guys got
I-
fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Crystal.
I don't know about using that glass one, but
Yeah, when
Well, but they
don't
said
wanna
he got
fall.
it back, right? He said they got it back.
You got some of those.
They
back.
got it
Just
back
walk
and
up
they
and
threw it
grab the
away. You don't
lockbox
want
and
that.
walk off with it?
you don't want that used.
You can tell which mechanic it was. He was the one walking really awkwardly around.
Oh,
he was the one who was
Stop
on Up Your
it.
Butt
Stop
Wednesday.
it.
Yeah, good, Sam. Just get out of it because there's too many jokes open there in the field.
Yeah.
He's coming to check on your car. He's doing the
Stop.
dance.
I don't know what that dance is, but okay.
Tippy toe. All right, so the Stros, yeah, they lost game 2.
They did lose that game.
Oh, yes, they did.
They had so many chances to kill it. If Framber had not given up those 4 runs, that score would have been 4-1. But Framber, unfortunately, was not the Framber that we needed him to be.
We're not going to play the
It
coulda,
was a
shoulda,
complete
woulda
nightmare in
game.
the top of the first. And it seems like there was kind of hope. I was thinking, well, anything can happen.
Well, I'm hoping this will put
Light a fire.
fire under Dusty's butt. Like if something happens in the first with your pitcher, get him the hell out.
Yeah.
Because
Dusty hangs on to pitchers way
I'm in
too
first
long.
inning, but your bullpen has been killing it. You got to give everyone else credit.
Yeah.
This Rangers team is really good when it comes to hitting. Like they usually score like 10 runs to keep them down to 2 and to 5. And really, there's that first inning with 4. And they pooped the bed.
They pooped the bed. The Rockets beat the Spurs 99-89. That means Houston remains unbeaten in preseason.
That's preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Nobody
preseason,
cares.
but they're unbeaten. I mean, they're looking good. Texas college football rankings, Longhorns are now number 1 again. After that is TCU, SMU, and then Texas State. But let's switch out of sports here. There's a news story. This I saw on Cron.com. A new Pew Research survey found that the overwhelming majority.
Pew Research Survey?
Pew,
Is that what you
pew,
said?
pew.
Oh, yeah, PEW.
PEW,
I don't
yeah.
know who they are, what it stands for.
They're pretty esteemed.
Is that what it stands for? Pretty esteemed.
Pretty esteemed.
Workers?
So they
Pretty
found,
uppity weather.
Uppity, would that be? Who?
Periwinkle employee worker.
Yeah, it's got to be an E, not a
Duh.
U.
All right.
Whatever. Anyway,
The
it's a
majority
source.
of Americans support age limits for federally elected politicians. It found that 82% of Republicans and 76% of Democrats support these measures. So it's across both parties. They're like, hey, we got to put an age cap on this. With those numbers in mind, Texas still has a proposition on the upcoming November ballot that would extend the maximum age for state judges. Those judges can currently serve until they're 75, but Proposition 13 would actually let them serve until they're 79 if it passes. And that's what's going down in H-Town.